News 3 starts right now.
Happiness is something that you have to work at, to cultivate every single day. But sometimes external circumstances can make that challenging. I spoke with the happiness expert, Dannie De Novo, about how practicing happiness, even when it's not easy, can be done. And Dannie, always good to have you. We call you our happiness coach, and obviously we could all use a little bit more of that in our life. So, one of the things that we talked about before we started the interview is how we do more to control the environment around us, and sometimes even if we can't control it, how do we focus on keeping ourselves happy internally?
So I think something we often forget is we get to choose what kind of mood we want to live our lives in. We get to choose our thoughts and we get to choose our feelings. And when we find that stuff is coming in from external circumstances or from other people and it's impacting us negatively, it's because we've given it the power to do so. So when we feel negative stuff coming in, we just need to pause, take a breath, and ask ourselves, is this really how I feel about this right now? Or am I allowing stuff outside of me to come in and impact me without my consent?
Yeah, so you control a lot of, you kind of control the floodgates, so to speak, what's coming in and what's going out. So, I guess, how do you stay in tune with that? Because sometimes it's hard. You just got a lot of stuff coming at you from a lot of different directions. Sometimes it's hard to kind of keep the stuff blocked out.
It is. So happiness is something you have to cultivate every single day. And there's little ways that you can do it, but it's a relationship. Like you have a relationship with a partner or a family or friends. And so like any relationship that you value, you have to put some time and effort into it every single day. But you can do little things, meditating, journaling about your feelings, focusing on feelings of love and gratitude, going outside. Laughter. I mean, when is the last time you really laughed? Not because it was socially acceptable at the time, but because you were really enjoying yourself and having fun in the moment. All of those little things done consistently over time, and that's the key, is consistently, they yield happiness for you.
Yeah, you're right. It takes practice. You just don't do it overnight. Being that you are a happiness coach and you're a person that people turn to hopefully, get to that space where they can have more of that kind of internal joy and it's not just necessarily based upon their circumstances. I guess my question to you is, sometimes we acknowledge that it's okay not to be okay all the time, but then how do we kind of shift from that and then maybe step back and look at it from a perspective of gratitude?
I think you need to become the leader in your own path to happiness. So one example I give often is if you're around people who think they're upbeat and they think they're happy people, but there's always that underlying feeling of toxicity and you just feel tired when you're around them. Sometimes we have to be around those kind of people because of our job or our family. But what I'll say is don't spend any more time with them than you have to. But if they're talking negatively, just interject something positive, and you don't have to do it in a snarky or judgmental way, just real quick, and then immediately change the subject to something that's more positive. That will take you both out of that negative cycle, put you into a better cycle, and now you have control of the positivity.
That's a really good point. Sometimes you have to acknowledge the fact that, okay, I'm not in a great space right now. So what am I going to do to kind of flip the script a little bit? Because if you just stew there, then, obviously you're not doing anything to make the situation better, especially if you have others that are kind of influencing that too. So that is a good point. Well, Dannie, where can people go to find out more information?
You can find more about me and my coaching at DannieDeNovo.com, and you can find all of my books on Amazon.com.
Very good. Dannie, thank you for bringing a little happiness to our day.
Thank you. And please make happiness this year your highest priority because we're so worthy of it. And I know everyone's struggling, but you're going to get there.